This is the one that got away. This is the one that got away. My buddy here, Joshua, bought this car from me. Was it last year? I think it was last year, wasn't it? Yeah. Last year, he bought this car from me. You might have seen this car on Instagram already. I posted a picture of it, but this was probably one of my favorite Fox bodies. Love this car, but today he is here because the car's not running right. It's got a little skip to it, it's got a little miss. He wants to learn, so we're going to kind of go through that again. I know we've touched on it before. We're going to go through it one more time, but first off, we need to listen to the car and see what's going on with it. Timing's probably off on the car and the TPS is out of adjustment. No big deal. I'm going to walk you through it one more time on how we do this. So I'm going to go ahead, turn the car off. First thing first, we're going to go ahead and check the timing because that's where you want to start. Guys, so the first step in doing a base idle reset is to make sure that you got your timing set. So that's what we're going to do right now. Joshua's going to go ahead and start the car up, and I've already got the bolt loosened up right here and the spout out. So that's going to be your spout. Right here. Yeah. So like I said, before you can really do a proper base idle reset or even adjust your TPS, you really need to go ahead and set the timing. All right, so I cannot see the timing marks on there on the harmonic balancer. So I'm going to show you a little trick if you can't see the marks. That's kind of dangerous, and I probably shouldn't recommend this on video. So by all means, do this at your own discretion. The easiest way to do this is grab a piece of Scotch-Brite or sandpaper, crawl up under the car while it's running, and yes, lay it up on the harmonic balancer and you can sand it off. It doesn't take but just a minute. So now we should be able to see what we're working with. Oh yeah. Yeah, we are really high, so we are at 20 degrees.
All you do is call me. I'll be anything you need. You could have a big...
So probably somewhere around there is more than likely where it's going to need to be, but we'll check it and see. And yep, we're right on about 11, 12 degrees. So that's why I recommend to leave this car. So I want to touch on timing and some of the issues that you run into whenever you bump the timing up too high on these cars. They tend to surge a lot, and it's hard to get the idle right. These cars really, in my opinion, don't like anything above 12 degrees. Now they run really good at 14 degrees, but at 12 degrees you don't really get any idle surge or anything like that, and the cars still run really good. So 12 would be my maximum on these if you care about drivability. So we're just going to go ahead, cinch everything down, put the spout connector back in the car, and then we're going to move over to the TPS. I went ahead and cut the car off. I know a lot of people say leave it running when you do your TPS. I just like it better. It keeps all that heat from getting up on me and making me sweat while I'm doing this. So we're just going to leave everything off, but you do have to have the ignition key in the on position, which I actually forgot to do. So let me go do that. Okay, so your red connection is going to go in your green wire down here, and your black connector is going to go onto the black wire. Do not attempt to ground right here. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and show you because I talk about it all the time, but let me show you the difference and what happens when you do that. So right now this car's sitting at 0.82, which is actually really good. We probably won't even mess with it, but let me show you the difference whenever we go to grounding to the block. So I'm going to go ahead, touch it to the block, and look, the number's already changed. 85.86. Sometimes it's even higher than that. So by all means, don't do that. Keep it plugged in. I tell you what, we'll go ahead and we'll adjust this TPS closer to like 9.4, 9.6, something like that. We'll just go ahead and do that for the sake of the video. And I'm going to come in and pierce these wires. Like I said, red goes to green, black goes to black. We're going to go ahead and loosen this up a little bit and see if we can get any adjustment out of it. 0.83 is fine for this car, but we're going to go ahead and change it up a little bit. So this is how much you have to move this thing. I mean, this makes all the difference. You can see that number
Yeah, I see it.
jumping around. So what we're going to do is just move it up ever so slightly to anywhere in the 9s is fine. Like I said, it really doesn't matter. We'll just go with 0.93, 0.94. That's really it. That's pretty much all there is to this. That's not an actual base idle reset. All we did was set the timing and then come in and set the TPS. A base idle reset is completely different, and I went over it in one of my other videos. What you have to do is unplug the battery terminal for, I think it's 15 to 30 minutes or something like that. I've had good luck with not unplugging it. That's fine either way, but for the sake of this video and so that we can all learn something, we're going to go ahead, disconnect the battery cable for 15 minutes, and we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to do a true base idle reset. It's been about 15 minutes or so on the battery. So what we're going to do is go ahead, I'm going to reconnect the battery terminal, and we are going to unplug the idle air control. Now hopefully, if we did this correctly, the car should be within spec and should run fine. So what we're going to do is now start the car up. I can tell you right now, this is what you want. You want the absolute lowest idle that your car will run at before you plug the idle air control up. Because basically what it is, the idle air control will pick the car back up and let it idle where it needs to. If the car is already idling up too high, the idle air control doesn't have a job to do. This works out really good. We're going to switch it off. Next, we are going to go ahead and plug the idle air control back up and start our process. It's basically just a 2-minute drill. You're going to do 2 minutes with the car running with no load. You're going to cut the car off for 2 minutes, and then you're going to turn the car back on with full load. And that's your base idle reset. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm just going to fast forward through this because there's no point in you sitting here for 2 minutes. I will tell you this though, after about 30 to 45 seconds, more than likely you're going to hear the car change tones. It's going to go from possibly running a little rough to idling up somewhere around, like I said, the 30-second mark or something. So don't be alarmed. That's what it's supposed to do. And as far as I understand, that's just the computer making its adjustments. So see, instantly with the idle air control plugged back up, the car is running about where it's supposed to. So we're gonna let the car, like I said, run for 2 minutes, and then we're just gonna switch it off, let it sit for 2 minutes, and then start it back up under a 2-minute load with everything turned on. All right, so it's been 2 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and show you this car. So I did a lot of interior work to it. I re-dyed all of the interior on the car. Once again though, these colors are not your LMR colors that you order. This was a SEM color that I used and worked out really good on the interior of this car. So it's more of a, it's on the brownish side of the gray, but it looks really good in the car. It really cleaned it up. He daily drives this car, which is what you want. You know, you don't want to let these cars sit up. That's the worst thing you can do to them. Get them out and drive them. That's what they're meant to do. Unless you have one that has really low mileage on it, get out there and enjoy it. That's what it's all about. But yeah, this car come a long way. Now it was a good car when I got it as far as like body wise. It was really straight, but had to do a lot of different things, you know, put tailpipes on it. Of course I put wheels on it. You know, wet sanded, buffed the car, put all new door handles and all new seals and trim. I think it really turned out good. This is the one that got away. I really shouldn't have gotten rid of this car, to be honest with you. And every time I look at a picture of it, it just kills me because it is beautiful. I mean, the interior is near pristine. You don't have to feel like you got to put all of your money into them to make them fast or whatever. These cars are more than enough to enjoy in stock trim. They really are. They're fun cars. Don't buy one of these in stock form to get a hot rod, because that's not what these cars are. These cars are just really cool. They get a lot of attention. People love them, and that should be why you buy a stock one. Do you get any looks with this car? All the time.
Everybody wants to buy it.
Yeah, everybody wants to buy it.
Run me down.
That's right. It's been 2 minutes. So now what you do after the 2 minutes, the last 2 minutes, go ahead, turn everything on. So that's going to be headlights. That's going to be everything. Air conditioner, full blast, whatever you got. Start the car up and let it run for 2 minutes. Now after these 2 minutes are up, you're done. So then the only thing you have to do is go drive the car. The adaptive learning needs to basically learn the car again after you did this base idle reset. Now, I'm not an expert. Like I told you guys, I didn't work for Ford. I'm not a technician, but if any of you guys know in the comments and want to elaborate and inform everybody on it, then by all means, please do. What initiates the base idle reset? It's gonna be pretty boring, but we're gonna sit here for 2 minutes and look at what I could have had. So I'm trying to get my car back to where this car is and was for me. That's gonna wrap this up. Car's running good. I think it might have a bad wire or either a bad plug or something. He just replaced everything, but at the same time, you know, you don't ever know. It could be a spark plug, maybe it's cracked or something like that. It's got a little slight miss to it, but we definitely improved the way that the car runs by doing this, and he shouldn't have any bucking or snatching issues with the car. I hope this helped you. It's probably going to be a long, kind of drawn out, boring video, but I really kind of wanted to show you this car, share this car with you, and as always, thanks for watching. I think with the timing being off like that, and with the TPS wasn't too bad, so the car didn't need much, just really a timing adjustment. Clutch is all the way at the top. I'm trying to remember that.
So it needs a clutch, don't it?
Yeah, it could stand one, but I mean, you know, it's fine. As long as you're not beating on it and trying to drag race it, it's fine.
I don't drag race it, but I do beat on it a little bit.
It's fine. When it starts,
That's what it's made for.
that's right. Like when it starts
Okay.
slipping and it won't go in
Yeah.
gear anymore, then there you go. It's time to
Yeah.
replace it. Man, you were making me miss this car. Oh, this car is so tight.
It is pretty tight.
It really is. The car's just really tight. Had a bunch of new stuff put on it. It's one of these cars when if you drive a Fox body like this, honestly, nothing else really compares unless it's a fully restored car, super low miles. Most of them don't drive